You've got all the talent, you've got all the gear, but you've got absolutely no idea what to do. Whether you're a professional artist, an amateur, or a student, the hardest part of creating any kind of art is getting that killer idea that sets your work above the rest. There are many ways to get ideas, and we'll look at some more in later videos, but let's just start with the three most common ways that good artists use. Did you know that only a tiny percentage of trained artists actually make a full-time living from their art? So why bother? Art is something we as humans feel compelled to do. It enriches our lives and those of others. It elevates our thinking, improves our observational skills and our hand-eye coordination. But most of all, art can change the world. Yes, art can and has changed the world. But perhaps you don't want to change the world. Perhaps you just want to create art that sells, or art that'll get you a good grade in your course. Whatever your reason, these three top tips will help you get ideas. The mind map. We've all made a mind map at some time in our lives. Most courses and many jobs require us to visualize our thinking. The mind map is great for this. It's a visual tool, a way to explore a theme or topic and identify the strengths and weaknesses. But all mind maps have a central keyword from which all the other strands of thinking then are linked. Getting that central keyword is often the hardest part. So what keyword should you use? Well, what's out there already? As artists or students, we've all seen art we like and art we don't like. Knowing what's out there is the starting point. This is why every good art course encourages students to research artists. Knowing what we like forms our own practice. We all start by copying. We see the work of an artist and like their use of materials or the colors they use, or perhaps are excited by their theme. By copying them, we learn their techniques. We fail sometimes and grow by recognizing where things went wrong. The most successful and well-known artists are not always the best when it comes to using materials, but they have something in their work that sets them above everyone else. In contemporary art, art that's produced now, and art of the last 100-odd years, that unique selling point has been the idea. It's the idea that really matters. Picasso is arguably the most famous artist in the world. He could paint realism as good as anyone, but that wasn't enough for him. His exploration of cubism created a storm at the time, and not everyone wanted to accept it as a valid art form. But he didn't care. He persisted with it and made a name for himself and a not inconsiderable fortune in the process. We can't all be Picasso, but we can find our own place in art by identifying what matters to us. Perhaps you just want to improve your ability to paint realistic landscapes or portraits. Perhaps you love abstraction or sculpture. Maybe you have a strong sense of social or political responsibility. It simply comes down to knowing what matters to you and then finding a way to realize it through art in some way. So rather than using a single central keyword for your mind map, try two. The first would be a word that relates to the materials you love to use, that you're confident in using. And the second will be something that matters to you. From these two words, you can then begin to build up the mind map with the pros and cons that all mind maps encourage us to explore, and the artists that you feel fit in with both these words in some way. It doesn't matter about originality at this stage. It's just about getting stuck in to do something that will keep you entertained, interested, and of course improving. Like any sport and anything else in life, the more you do something, the better you get. Artists become good because they make art every day. Through practice, you'll grow.